What if France and the Holy Roman Empire united? This question will be answered in this video. Well, firstly, I should address how this could be possible. In year 1576, electors of Holy Roman Empire wanted to elect Henry III of France, because they were scared of Habsburg hegemony, which was reasonable. But Henry III refused because of domestic affairs in France, conflict between the Protestants and Catholics, and Emperor became Rudolf II. Habsburgs then owned the title under the dissolution of the empire after the Battle of Austerlitz in 1806. But what if Henry III accepted the crown? The consequences would be vast. The religious conflict would deepen. At the beginning, Henry would go to the empire and be crowned here, and then go back to France and fight the Huguenots, although he would be very active and care for the Imperium, but in France. The empire would be meanwhile in a delicate state, divided between Protestants, Catholics and the Habsburgs, only waiting for the time to erupt. I would expect this would come sooner than in 1618, when 30 Years' War began. The sides of this new 30 Years' War would be interesting. France would most probably back anyone who would be anti-Habsburg, even the Protestants, if the French royal dynasty still be in charge of the empire. The new war would start around the year 1610, probably by a revolt in Bohemia again. France would back the Bohemians, and French noble would become king of Bohemia, although the country would be Protestant. After several battles, Habsburgs would be defeated, and they would probably still hold Austria and be very weakened. But with getting rid of Austria, we have not solved the problem with the Protestants and Catholics within the Imperium. But after the Austrian War, I think that the solution would be the rule of new Emperor Henry IV of France, who would carefully balance the needs of both parties, like in France in our reality before he was assassinated. But in this new timeline, he would live longer. This empire would have at the time many enemies. If I name them, they are Spain, England, Sweden, Ottomans, and maybe Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. But I don't think that there would be any conflict with the Poles, but with the others there would be a lot of conflicts. Around the 1650s, France would take Spanish Netherlands, fight and expand in Italy, and participate in fighting the Ottomans, together with Poles. Vienna could fall to Ottomans, but they would be unable to get further, and by 1700 they would be on retreat. Holy Roman Empire would have more liberty during these times, whilst France would fight Spain and Britain, fighting them in colonies as well. Slowly, land would be reclaimed from the Ottomans. France would then start losing in the colonies, but I expect them to pull off Napoleon during the end of the century, taking off Spain and getting Italy. If there would be a revolution as well, we can expect creation of some kind of European empire, with Napoleon as its emperor. If Napoleon had been a leader of France, he would have full support from German part of Europe, and this time his empire would not fall. If the kingdom would still exist, it would puppet a lot of states, like Spain and Italian countries and duchies, slowly transforming into empire as well. They would still fight the British and the Russians, and have hegemony in Europe, but this is all. If you like this video, you can give like, subscribe and join my Discord server. Link is in description. Salvete.